Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King's Table podcast. My name is Voice Kenya International, coming to you all the way from IHAB Lavington Creative Economy Practice. This is where we speak about kingship, identity, purpose, and leadership. So, leo ni leo. I have an amazing guest. And nilikuwa nataka kumintroduce, lakini nikaona kuna beshti yangu wako behind the scenes, kuna vitu ameongea imenichanganisha sana. Nimesema I don't want to understate the introduction. So I want him to tell us who he is, and then he'll tell us his name, his occupation, and then his favorite food. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the King's Table.
Thank you so much. Wise Kenya is Wise Kenya.
Yes.
The only difference between me and you is that I have hair.
And
so
I don't.
Akili ni nywele, lakini you're wiser than me. So I don't know. Mambo ya Mungu ni
mengi.
So my name is Stanley Maina, or k-lax. I consider myself as a fearless influencer of the society, a person with shameless audacity. I'm a father of two. I'm a husband to one. One wife who's a woman. And
key point.
I'm a believer.
Kuinje ni kubaya.
I'm a believer, a business person as well. Yeah, I oversee operations at k-lax Creations. It's a branding company. I'm also a branding consultant and Brand 254 consultancy. I am a wedding planner with Wedding Planners Kenya. I have a fleet of Ubers. And what else do I do? I also have another company known as Biashara Flow Finance, which gives finances to business people under the same scope of business that k-lax Creations is in. Yeah, that's what I do. Yes.
Wow. Nisikia hiyo. Lest you forget. Allah. So, niko na maswali mengi hapa, but before we get into all of this, sijasikia ukiongelea maneno ya kanisa.
Nimesema I'm a fearless influencer of the society. And I'm a believer. I fellowship at Mavuno Church. Mavuno Church. And I believe in the Church of Jesus. I'm not a denomination kind of a guy, because I understand that the devil is also in the details of tearing apart church. So mimi, I believe in the body of Christ, not denominations. Yes.
Yeah. Napenda venye mnafikiria. This is one of the, I think one of the questions I usually ask people, because people think that the main agenda is the denominations and not Christ. So it's easy for people to be boxed up in I am from this church and this church, and not focus on who and whose they are.
That's true.
Yeah. So I would love for you to tell me about just one story. One major story that you think shifted your perspective of life from childhood. One major story.
One major story that shifted my perspective of life, I think I will go back to campus. I come from a space whereby I have touched a lot of money and went back to zero. In campus, I remember there's a time I used to pay rent 6 months. Nalipa rent 6 months ahead. Then there's a time niliambia landlord ninahama the second month na usinirudishie hiyo pesa. So I saw pride. Nilikuwa naenda nauliza watu, you mean scratch cards bado zinauzangwa? Like I didn't understand in luck. Unajua niko na pesa hadi sielewi watu wanakosanga aje credit. And so that time I really had money, but I didn't know how to utilize the money. You see, money is the only thing that we spend a lot of time looking for, but the least of time studying it. And money follows wisdom. So if you don't have wisdom and you have money, you will not understand how your money goes. Yeah, so that time I went back zero after spending a lot of money, and I got into a business that wasted me. I went back to zero, and now thoughts are coming in my mind, and now I want now to do funny things of the world. Nataka kutafuta kibaby mama kinieke. Nikae tu like, nataka kurudi pali nilikuwa financially, and I'm desperate. I'm looking at all means possible. And I'm engaging friends do you have job, uko na kazi unitie, but people are just blue ticking me. And so I realized that people are not who I thought they were. Sasa hapa nikaanza kupata perspective. I remember my mom telling me, we have a room hapa home, kuja, I know that you're struggling at this season, kuja ukae. And I remember God telling me, when you go back there unalala. I remember telling my mom, I'm not going back there. Hapa ukinirudisha ninalala. And so I got a perspective about how a man should be like. You see, there's a way we are supposed to be as men. Men are resilient. We are supposed to fight in the manner of men. Like tunapigana vita vile iko.
Yeah.
And so I understood friends. Nikaanza kurealize, kwa hivyo mabeshte wakwangi tu mabeshte. And I understood finances. And that is where I actually decided I will not be a church hopper. I want to get a space whereby I'm growing. Because what do you mean nilikuwa nafikiria mambo ya kuwekwa na wamama? What do you mean nilikuanga nimegusa meter the other day na saisi na anything? What do you mean I'm struggling? I don't have friends. Hiyo time nilipata a different perspective na nikaanza kuchange. Yeah. It's a long story. We may need the whole year, but I'm just paraphrasing.
So now, for those who don't understand, when you say it is easy for someone to it is easy for people to know how to get money, but not know how to study it. Or sometimes, because I have a lot of people who work in jobs that they're paid like 150, 200,000 or even 400,000 a month. But the moment 20th, 21st, 22nd, they don't have anything.
I need to pay urgently.
Everything. So you wonder what, because the cash flow is not the problem. There's something that you're doing. There's a way you're spending the money. Because it doesn't make sense you're earning 400 to 500, $500,000 per month, but by 20th, all of it is gone. So how did you get to wrap your head around the aspect of you getting like 1 million shillings and spending it, and then how did you get out of that situation so that you align yourself with who you are supposed to be or who you are right now to the point where you are a steward of the things that you have?
So in life, it's either you learn through other people's experiences or your own experience. Myself being the firstborn, I think I learned the hard way. And by the time I'm coming to Mavuno, well, I have to mention this. We speak finances. When I got into a space whereby we are intentionally taught about finances, that is where my perspective changed. And I was now like, okay, so pesa ifai kutumiwa hivi. There is something that my disciple has always been teaching me, delayed gratification. The reason as to why we have people being paid so huge amounts of money, but by date 21st, 22nd, they don't have anything, because they want to match up to the standards of their peers. They want to appear like their peers. Okay, some of my jokes you might need.
Nimesha kusikia. Si lazima uridi. I'm quick.
So they want to be like, nimetembea kwako wise, nimepata uko na Mazda Demio, mimi naendanga na nduthi, sindio? So instead of nijue how to save, nataka kumatch up to standards zako, because I'm the guy, I'm your guy. So when your guys are showing up, I also want to show up in a way. So I got somebody who taught me like, in 5 years, 10 years to come, you can actually be way higher than them, only if unaweza ukajinyima. And so teachings tu hapa na pale nikaanza kupata a different perspective, and this is why today naweza nikakosa kutumia do vile nilikuwa naitumia back then, because there is something I know about my past experiences that I wouldn't want to get back to.
Wow. Alright, so ni nini business imekufundisha that leadership ndani ya ministry bado ijakufundisha?
Ni nini business imenifundisha?
Ministry bado.
Business imenifundisha excellence. Imenifundisha there is a way we do things out here. Kuna mambo ya ubeshte. Business, it's excellence, not sympathy. You just have to deliver what you're supposed to deliver. Mambo ya wishe. That's why in so many businesses kuna kwa kumeandikwa no credit. Because businesses we have to do, business is money language. But huku kwingine kwa ministry, it's grace language. And so money language haina sympathy. It's we are doing business. This is why, let me give an example. It doesn't matter whether an ambulance imeenda kwa petrol station, then iko like, you know I'm carrying mse mwenye ako mbaya, so eka mafuta, tutakuja kusort baadaye, lipa mafuta uende bro. Hapa hakuna mambo ya ati it's an emergency case. So business it's business.
Yeah.
That is what business has taught me. Yeah.
Oh, and then the vice versa, ni nini ministry imekufundisha?
Ministry has taught me that we cannot disconnect business and ministry.
Yes.
It is one and the same thing. Because we don't have a Bible that teaches specifically about finances. We have a Bible. The Bible is incorporative of our relationships, our leadership skills, and our business skills. So ministry has taught me how to lead a business the godly way. Not the world way. Because there are two voices in this world. There is what the world is saying, and there is what God is saying. Rarely do we get to read what God is saying in as far as businesses is concerned. Yeah, so it has taught me so many things. When I talk of, I with a lot of humility, I boast of 5 streams of income. I come from a world that says you cannot survive with a loan. Then ministry says, like the space that I am in, discipleship, somebody tells me that I am not in a loan, yet I'm a billionaire. So your wisdom is to ask, how is it that you are surviving without a loan and yet you're a billionaire? So I desire that instead of ingine ya dunia. So that is what ministry has taught me. Because I normally tell my people, my disciples, shamelessly, naambia, mi nilikuwa nachukua loans mingi sana ndo niweze kusurvive. Then napata mse mwenye ananiambia hebu soma Ecclesiastes 11:2. Inakwambia invest in many streams of income, 7 or 8. You don't know when the day of disaster will come. And I'm like, how comes I've been reading the Bible? How comes I go to church? Nobody has ever shared this verse with me. Until I got into a space whereby somebody told me the Bible was never meant for pastors. It was actually the instruction. The Great Commission says, go therefore and make disciples. Not go there for you bishops. Not go there for you pastors. When I realized that, nikaanza kuisoma yote, ndo nilianza kupata vitu zenye zinakuanga zimefichwa ndani. Na nika change perspective yangu ya kuran biashara. Yeah.
How do you deal, umeongelelea disciples? Na umeongelelea pia, obviously I'm thinking if this is your character and this is your lifestyle, I'm sure you also, it overflows to the people you disciple.
Yeah.
So from ministry to business, you also teach them the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm on a gatekeep. I'll gatekeep.
Ministry is what you don't see me doing. Whenever you're talking to me and that is not ministry. Ministry ni kenye hamjuangi inafanyika. Yeah.
Okay, so now how are they benefiting from where you are right now?
Okay, that's a good question. Now, discipleship is, let me take you to where I have been. Let me take you to where my leader is taking me. And so if I'm experiencing a godly marriage, I normally have very, very uncomfortable conversations. Not only with my disciples in church, but also at work. Very uncomfortable. Like mi ndakuuliza swali yenye huwezi expect ati utaulizwa. Because my biggest regret is we stayed with you from like between time A and B. Yet you gained nothing. I normally tell my people, salary will never make you rich. So nawambianga, ebu fungua kabiashara ufanye. Fanya kitu. And then I'm like, if I'm having 5 and you're my disciple, you better be somewhere around 4. Because I cannot be leading you and you're having 1 stream of income. We are going to have very uncomfortable conversations. And so I'm beginning to learn how to lead business with grace, not corporately. See ile harshness. I'm beginning to be like, yes, you may overlook somebody, you maybe upate mse ana misbehave in one way or the other, but kuna strength yenye yako nayo. So this is grace, not corporate. And what that does, there are some people who actually give an extra. As opposed to 5 imefika, you only pay me up to 5. I have people who even extend overnight because of that father daughter. I'm a father in as much as sikai kama mzai wa mtu. Because of that relationship, there are people who extend because of the love. That is why Jesus said love is the greatest commandment.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I am not able to lead my people in the line of love, they are going to do things corporately, and the company is going to struggle.
So how do you deal with disappointment from those people?
Well, Did I mention that leadership is pain management? So we are disappointed every day. The Bible says you forgive 70 times 7 times of the same mistake. Hakuna mwenye hata amefikisha hizo.
Okay, sasa now this is now where we get to, I'm trying to connect the things you're saying. Umesema story ya ambulance, An ambulance doesn't care if someone is dying. It has to be fueled.
Yes.
So let's say you have a cash flow business that is running, the things that you're doing right now. So when I say disappointment, it's coming from the context of how do you get to deal with inconsistencies in the way you have structured your business.
Yeah, they have been happening a lot. People will come late. But I normally say this. If you make a mistake for the first time, I will not penalize you. When you repeat a mistake, now you are attracting some penalties. So in my case, mara nyingi nikuongeleshe. Then you're necessary in ignorance. Nitakwambia tuwe mwenye ujieke kwa mtego. Nitakwambia ujieke like, so if you don't do this, what would you want me to do for you? Ama what would you want the company to do for you? We mwenye unajisemea. So by the time you're learning to that mistake, we mwenye unajua the penalty. There are some people who have left the company because they already knew they are in the red zone. So wakahama. But the good thing is that to date, they still come back and we engage. Yeah.
So how do you manage leading people in business and then discipling people spiritually?
Mimi, I incorporate everything. Primarily, spiritual matters align everything else. It is the mind that submits to the spirit. Yeah. So, corporate is the mind. It is the excellence of the mind. For you to be a CEO, for you to be a director, there is nothing spiritual about that. It's all in the mind. But the mind only surrenders to the spirit. It is the spirit. The only part that can command the mind is the spirit. And now the body submits to the mind. So with that understanding najuanga kuna vitu devo atatry kuleta kwa biashara kama sijaalai na watu wangu spiritually tutarambwa serious. Kama kuchukua shoddy deals tutarambwa serious sana. Ni aje kwa kila quotation yenye unaandika niongezeka 5k hapo juu.
Kama venye gava inafanyanga.
You see, we think we serve a God of confusion that on Sunday I surrender all. Then saa zile deal imekuja you are now able to compromise. And I normally tell people the devil is not a baby. He was there before I was placed in the Garden of Eden. He has all the masters to ensure that akona kesi ya kufile against me. And he masquerades as the angel of light. So if I don't have understanding on how he operates, atanishika.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow. So how do you remain grounded with all these people looking up to you?
I ensure that my discipler, I ensure that my hand is holding my discipler, and this other hand is holding my disciples. Yeah. So at no given point should I think that I am well enough, like I'm mature enough to do it by myself. Nobody has the capacity to run things by themselves. We all need one another. That's why when Jesus came, he said, I am doing the will of my Father. In as much as he was God, he was doing the will of the Father. And the will of the Father was, you must do what I have outlined. This is why Jesus submitted to Herod. Ilibidi ahepe. Ndiye king. Unaget? And so, when we get to do the will of whomever we are holding on to, things get to align. Shida inakuanga, mimi na kuobei kama nani. Obedience is one of the rebellion, obedience. Hiyo ndio inakuanga shida ya binadamu. Lakini tukisha understand, it's a simple thing but a hard thing. As long as I'm holding on to somebody who is following Christ, mimi nakuanga like, sawa. And now the devil is like, he's coming. By the time he's coming to fight me, he has some other people to deal with. As opposed to how we live life. We live life exposed, naked. So devil anakuja kunichapa na kuja directly kwangu. Then anaanza kusema, gava ni ngumu, mambo imekuwa ngumu. It's just because you don't have a cover. And this is discipleship.
You talked about the business not being spoken about in churches a lot. Actually, a lot of churches.
Yeah.
And that's why 82% of Kenyans are Christians, but Kenya is the third most corrupt country in the world, and then the 48th poorest country globally. So I don't know if you know. Did you know that? So now the question is, like how do you, or what do you think needs to change in the church? Because people are always bringing in offerings, but when you look at the congregation, not every church, like for instance, your churches might be different, but not a lot of the churches right now, people are actually leaving the church. I have a lot of creatives that I know, i.e. Bruce Newton. Actually, most of the gospel artists that were there before are not there now. And most of it is because of the business aspect. Like there was lack of balance between how do we get to turn this talent into profit so that we can actually get to earn from it. And then the lack of support, which is what most of them say. Like the church does not support us. And then the other aspect of also the church being bold to empower people to be entrepreneurs and leaders in the marketplace instead of just focusing on being employees.
Hey, hii ni moto. Do you know that most businesses are surviving out here because of practicality? They are practical. But most churches are unable. I know there's a saying, there's word going around that if you want to be poor, like wasi wa church wanakuanga wamesota. Yeah? But if only we can understand what Deuteronomy 8:18 says. But remember the Lord your God, because it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. When umeanza kupata hiyo understanding, uko like, by the way, wait a minute. Hii skill yangu ya kufanya branding, was it nilipatiwa injection? Nikapatiwa vaccine? Na doki nikaambia sasa utakuanga umeiva branding. Where did it come from? I just found myself with this ability. So what am I supposed to do? I need to understand if this is the ability, then there has to be more information on how to use this ability. Where is the information from? My creator. So I have to go back to you see, we have a problem of going so fast forward, and the only way for us to advance forward is going back to what was written back then. Like the Bible is the hack of life. But now we have a problem. Churches preach what we want to hear. It's the new year. Yeah, tunaenda tunainua mikono. Yes, this is your year of fruitfulness. This is let me tell you the truth. If an atheist plants something and a believer doesn't plant something, there is no magic that is happening. God is a God who is just to the righteous and the unrighteous. Like mvua itanyesha kwa wote. But sasa we have a corrupted mentality. We think it is the pastor releasing the blessing. Apana, God says, I will bless the work of your hands. So there is no work over your hands. Your hands are doing nothing. But then you expect a blessing. Your works are not getting down to plant and you expect a blessing. Most of the people in the world are being practical. They are putting in work. You hear people saying that we wake up every 3 a.m. in the morning. Christians are like, God is going to provide. You sleep the whole day. There is no magic that will happen. So we are losing because churches don't want to teach this. Because they are like, hii inaleta inconvenience kwa wafuasi wangu. Wafuasi wangu wanataka kusikia, this is your year of prosperity. The reality is that prosperity is not magical. Prosperity follows principles. And the blessing lands upon principles. Principles is practicality. So there is the work of the hands to be done for the blessings to land on. Unfortunately, we teach people the message. We don't teach people the actions. Yeah, so when I say that we need to tell people, Niaje, do you have a skill? Is there a skill that you know? And weke your skill, put it into utilization. Do you know that God can actually bless you 6 days? Na ukue millionaire. Yeah? Na bado church, uende userve God on Sunday. Na umserve kabisa, na usiitishe do yote. That's why I have a problem with people who ask for money to serve in church. Because they don't understand who created you. Is it making sense that God alinipatia skill ya kuimba? Then every Sunday namwambianga, so how much do you have? Nikuimbie? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
So how? Because this is a very huge conversation, by the way. I've had this conversation with the likes of Akinamoji. There's a guy called Timeless. There's a guy called Manolo. All of these artists. And outside of the people that sing, you have the instrumentalists. The drummers, the keyboardists, the guitarists. Kwanza tukiongelea the instrumentalists, hawawezi serve kwa church bila stipend. Unaget? I've seen a situation where service in stop because of that same thing. like service did not continue because they were outside. They were saying they're not entering until pesa iingie kwa simu. You get? So now this is the challenge that I have. I understand and I agree with what you're saying. But there's another perspective. The other perspective is this. You have I have gotten the opportunity and the grace to serve in so many different denominations, i.e. Mavuno Pia, not the one for Nairobi, but other counties. And I have gotten to see a lot. I am also non-denominational. And there was a space that I was in Nakuru, a campsite, where we get to serve all these churches, not the congregants, the leaders. So you get to see them in team building. And you know, team building exposes who you are, not what you want people to see. So in all those frustration and the fun and the authenticity of you showing your frustration, we got to see a lot. But there was one consistency, which is, as we are debriefing, we realized that deep down in all of these mainstream, not mainstream churches, not the small churches, most mainstream churches do not lack funds. Most of them don't. There is a similarity between mainstream churches and the government. Pesa inaingianga mingi sana. Shida ni pesa inapoteleanga sijui wapi. Money disappears from the top somewhere. It might not be the senior pastor, but somewhere when things are happening, projects are being done, venye tu umesema, that ka 5,000 yenye mnaongeza hapo hivyo, pesa inapoteanga. And then this is a challenge because I've sat down with the instrumentalists and the musicians. By some way, somewhat, they sometimes find themselves in these board meetings to express what musicians are saying or what instrumentalists are saying. So how can the church serve them better? And then you get to hear all these things. So you as an instrumentalist, you have been told, because let's say, for instance, you said that knowledge and wisdom is the thing. Most of it is what has allowed you to be where you are right now. And I'm sure a lot of them, the creatives, have not been exposed to such knowledge and wisdom to think outside of the box and even have multiple sources of income so that the cash flow is always coming. So some of them look at this specific gift as this is what I live for. This is my bread. And then you see 1 billion shillings has disappeared from the church. 5 billion has disappeared from a project that was supposed to be 20 million. How do you wrap your head around that? And you know, Sunday you're supposed to perform. I'm speaking from something that actually happened. This is something I saw. During the week, 1 billion shillings has disappeared. On Sunday, there's some money like that was released because I think Mavuno also has structure from the context of how money is distributed to different ministries. I.e., you guys, let's assume you're the senior pastor and the board, and then you distribute a specific amount to the worship ministry. So they know, the leaders, not the people that actually do the thing, the leaders know this has been released. But it does not get to reach to the people that it's supposed to get to. And then you hear in a board meeting that this money was released, but it never got. But you can't start saying we never received, because you will be disobeying the father. I'll be disobeying an authority. And I also fear asking you because it is you. So how do you get to wrap your head around knowing that the church is always in a place of abundance in terms of money?
Okay.
But huku nje, mnaambia the musicians and the instrumentalists ati wasikuje kusema, okay, it's not a must. We can give, but it's not a must for us the church to give you. If we give you, it's just a thank you. But you should not expect it. But you as a leader, you expect a salary as the pastor. You as a leader, you expect mafuta. Inaitwanga stipend ya mafuta ya gari ama nini. Because sisi, the church I go to, there are cars, and then they're usually the cards are usually few. Their pesas zinakwanga ndani ya card.
Haya, that's a good one. And it's a very hot conversation, even as at the moment I have been hearing instrumentalists nini. So scripture inasema nini? Saa zile tumetoa tithe, hiyo tithe inafaa kufanya nini? Inafaa kufanya nini kwa church? Is it, let me mention this. Do you know that just because you were walking along the road and you came across a fake 1,000 shilling note, to you that is a real 1,000 because you haven't seen the real one. So in as far as you are concerned, you have the real 1,000 shilling note. Then somebody comes and tells you, this is the real one. This is the reason. Now you have those who are like, oh, wait a minute. Kumbe, this can exist. I'm in a space whereby my disciple or my pastor has not been paid for 6 years by church, yet is a billionaire. He gives tithe and he says that he gives 10% plus. So Bible inasema tutoe 10%. After he mastered the power of giving, so he adds 10% every year. And I'm like, what do you know that I don't know? This person has a revelation about the real 1,000 note. Because I'm still living within the fake 1,000 note. It's not coming. So if I'm saying that I see people who serve in church and they don't expect anything. Because paint this picture. If I go to church and mimi napendanga vile drums upigwa, then wewe because you worship money, hauja show up kupiga drums. Inamaanisha somebody, a sheep, is going to be lost to the clubs just because you worship money more than God. You understand? So we need to understand what is it that we are coming to do. Like nimekuja kufanya nini? Like God, do you know that there is somebody who doesn't have hands? Na anasemanga tu, like mimi Mungu nikaweza pata tu mikono, siwezi kulipisha. Huyu mwenye anaitisha pesa, naweza piga hizi drums, ajue yenyewe, this is something you should be grateful for. But now, I don't have a problem with churches paying instrumentalists. The only thing that I'm saying, there is an unlearning that I have been into. I also thought it is okay. Then msi akakuja akanipatia understanding, nikakuwa like, okay, so unajua, sisi hapa hivi tuna make sure everybody is thriving. We are teaching finances and people are growing. But then we don't have to fail to show up to church on account of sijapatiwa do. Like when you say that you won't show up because hujapatiwa do, then it means there is another master you're serving.
I can throw it back to you. Okay, I'm thinking from the devil's advocate perspective.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I'm disagreeing. I just want to make the conversation interesting. You spoke about an ambulance on the petrol station.
Yeah.
That ambulance does not care if someone is sick huko nyuma.
Yeah.
So how is it that when we come to the church, we separate the business from the ministry, but when we go out, we want to join them together?
Okay. Now, church is ministry. The petrol station is corporate. When we were talking about the corporate world, we were talking of excellence and not compromising in the sense of just pay, we do. But now when we come to ministry, it goes a bit deeper. Unaget? Because I'm coming from the perspective of, like, unasoma Bible hadi unaambiwa, unapata revelation, uko like, okay, so by the way, si lazima, because where your money is, there your heart, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And money is spiritual. Money is spiritual. Like pesa inaweza kucontrol.
That's true.
But do you understand that it was you who was created on the 6th day, not money? But we live as if it was money that was created on the 6th day, such that we worship money. Instead of money, how do I put it? We were created for money to work for us, not for us to work for money.
Yeah.
But when I say that I will not do anything unless money has been done this, then I'm working for money. Above it all, we need to also look at who is the giver of the assignment. It is God. So I need to ensure that I'm doing this and this and this. So there is a thin line. In the corporate world, there is like uko akunanga ati unajua ma bishop. Uko ni excellence, like lipa evil. That is the dynamics that makes businesses to thrive.
Okay.
But when we come to church, there is grace to be extended.
Yeah. Your grace, Pierre, the Bible says, do not use the grace of God as a license to sin.
Of course.
So you're in the church. I'm still in the aspect, because keep in mind I've served in a lot of churches, so I'm not speaking from ignorance. I'm speaking from being in a lot of meetings. So you've been in a specific church, and then you've experienced that there is people have been graceful. God has spoken to people. God has spoken to you. Is it the bishop or pastor or the guy that you're speaking about right now, the billionaire, and he's added the 10% plus another on top of it, and he's given it to the church. So it's somewhere in the church. And then some few people decide that, okay, since there is grace, let me pocket it for myself. And then for you guys, when you come, there is grace. God will provide, and you have been given the ability to go and make businesses out there. So hii pesa ikikuja hapa kwetu, sisi tunafaa tu kuambia, you continue serving God. You get what I'm...
I get it. Now, let me answer into that, because we also in a society whereby we say church is business. Sindio? Because that is the understanding that people have.
Yes.
Tunapatiana tithe alafu wase wanaenda kunini.
Yes.
When you honor your father, let's say you give your father, let's say an honor gift. Mpatie kama let's say ka 5K. Mwambie dad, nimekunini. Do you know the blessing is not in the amount? The blessing is in the giving. Because who is overlooking everything? God. If you start saying that hata nikikupatia hii, najua utaenda kukunywa yote, you missing out. It is not your business to know what is happening on the other side. The blessing lands on you on the giving part. God will deal with that other person if he decides to mismanage the funds. Like if I give to my church, na mimi najua nimepeana wholeheartedly. There is a whip that God akona punishment ya mwenye ameamua kumisuse. So me, I just have to do what I'm supposed to do, because God is looking at my heart ako like, you're giving with a clean heart and you know what you're doing. But now the people above you wako under a certain spirit yenye inawafanya wana mismanage funds. That is not me. Hiyo ni Mungu atadeal na wao. You know, in 200 years from now, you'll be a spirit. Na mi pia nitakuwa spirit. So God knows how he's going to judge the people. But I cannot fix everything. Like I'm not Jesus. I just have to do what I'm supposed to do and follow the Bible for what it says. When I start thinking about, so nilitoa tithe last month, nataka kuona accountability ya hiyo pesa yangu yote, I'm going to lose the point, and the devil is using me to just miss out on the bigger picture. So me, I'm like, I gave my portion, that's it. If you decide to mismanage me, I did what I could.
Okay, so now another question. So does it mean when you have the wisdom that you have to do the businesses that you do, and you know stewardship and how stewardship works, when it comes to the church, you turn a blind eye? Because you know they're going to be dealt with by God. So, but huku inje, kwa biashara yako, every single penny is counted for.
Okay, so, kama mimi sasa, let's say I'm not in the leadership. Kuna wenye wako huko. So should I say I won't tithe because I'm afraid they are going to mismanage?
No.
What is the minimum I can do? Give an offering.
So you do your part.
I do my part. So if I start digging deep into what they will do with the money, I will be forced not to
give.
Respond in obedience, not to give. No. But where I'm holding the steering wheel, kama sasa in my business, what do? I ensure there is excellence. And you know what the world is learning out here? The world is learning that, so k-lax, biashara yako ni k-lax. I hate Christians because of the church that I go to. I hate how they mismanage funds. But the fact that you're able to run k-lax in a godly way and you're able to account for everything that happens there, I am beginning to unlearn things. Naona? So mimi pale kwa leadership sina hiyo maswali ya kwenda kuambia watu wa church ni aje mnajua hivi na hivi. But probably one day they will come and learn and be like, okay, guys, there is one of our members who runs business in this manner. Can we learn something from this person? Because we may not be convincing with our words, but we should be convincing with our actions. Wow. There's another guy. Kuna hii kitu inaitwa faith-driven entrepreneurship, whereby I saw a team that has intentionally decided to make bags kama hizi za Denry, leather bags. And one of the clients alikuja akamwambia, hi, from what I see you guys posting online together with the bags, I think you guys are Christians. Yes, we are. Well, I hate Christians, but I love your product. So what are you learning? As Christians, we have to bring the excellence. You see, God created the ark with excellence, actual dimensions. But now when we compromise, we are giving the world an opportunity to get some cracks within us. Sasa zile unakula do ya church, unapatia dunia opportunity ya kuongea mbaya kutuhusu. So we need to be real with ourselves before we are real with our disciples. Naona? Mimi you don't have to be there to kujua ati kuna deal nilikataa 200k just because siko nataka kuongezea mse deal yake. But I did it. Ile siku utaisikia utaanza kuwa like, okay, so you mean there are Christians who can actually do this? There is an unlearning to be done. I'm not saying that, do you know that we have a sick mentality that churches is where people should be holy than everywhere. Church ni maternity, kila msa anapiga nduru. Pia mimi nimepeleka huko na mashida zangu. Pastors wenye tunaona huko, do you know that pastors wanakuanga na vita kubwa sana na devil kutuliko sisi kama congregants? That's why we know of what they are doing that is not okay than even the congregants. Like always jua mambo ya congregants, lakini mambo ya pastor uko na information yote. Why? The devil goes after the shepherd. So instead of bashing these people, my pastor has taught me, can you pray for them? Because this is God's plan A to save this world. It is the only space whereby the software can be worked on. Otherwise, tukianza kupiga kanisa, let me tell you, there is no club yenye itaanza kutufunza character. Hakuna maklabu zitaanza kutufunza character. Church is the only way to work on the software, the spirit part of man. Yeah, and so that's it.
Do you believe leadership is a calling or a skill that can be learned?
Well, leadership is, I can say it's both. Hii inakuanga conversation. Do you believe leadership is a calling or a skill that can be learned? Well, mimi you see, I wasn't even a leader. Do you know mimi kusalimika nilikuwa na mwaga machozi? I was very shy. Do you know that in class 5 hata singeongelesha msichana because of the environment? But now, when God says in Genesis chapter 1 verse, I think, well, sikumbuki the actual verse, but God says, I have created man in my own image and likeness. When I see David as a leader, it reminds me of God as a leader. If David was created in God's image and likeness, then that means there is some fragment in me of leadership. There is a fragment of me in strength. There's a fragment of me that reflects the nature of God. And so I just need to unlock. Because when God says that when God gives me the capacity to procreate, that is leadership already. Because he's saying that you have a baby, you have to be a leader upon that. You could be a leader of one, and some are leaders to many. So I believe that leadership is not something for us to decide. It is already a God-given thing in us. It's inborn. It's only that sometimes the environment we were raised in, ilifanya saa zingine tukakuwa na trauma. You will never be a leader. You will never amount to anybody. But God is like, apana, these are not the words that I say to you. This is not reflecting me in you. This is umedefine kitu ingine ndani yako. And so if David was a leader, if Elijah was a leader, if Samuel was a leader, then there is some aspect of me that is in leadership. I just need to unlock and get the right people holding my hand on niambie niaje. You can lead.
The people that you're discipling, how can they, I believe they are young. Okay, some might be old. Majority are young.
Yeah.
It's ni ukweli. Upako, he doesn't dispute age. Yeah. So how can young people lead without pretending to have everything figured out?
How can young people lead without pretending to just be real? There's
being real huku nje ni normal. Being real. So, are you sure?
No, this is the thing.
Is it being real like 50% ama being real like being real? Because being real, even in psychology outside of there's a book called 33 and 48 laws. Okay, there's 48 laws of power, then there's 33. The war strategy. One of the things I've learned is the moment you show people your true self, you risk being a target.
Okay.
So it is what we have been called to do in the Bible. Like, you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. And if Christ is in you and is the way, the truth, and the life, so technically you're supposed to be walking in the truth.
Okay.
But now, being authentic risks you losing a lot of things. So what do you mean? Please expound your key.
Let me explain. Do you have a bottle? Do you have anything that I can hold on to? Nikupatie example.
There is.
Okay. Higher.
There is.
Just anything that.
Anything. There's a rock.
Anything. There's a rock. So, assuming this is a pipe, maybe there are things flowing through this. When God says die to self, it means that anything about you, forget it. Now let me allow my blessings, anything that I want to flow through you, to be you. So when you start saying that I will not do this because there is a thing in me I don't want it to be seen, you haven't died to self. You're still holding on to some things about you. And this is why sometimes God is unable to use us, because we still have we still so full of ourselves. And so God anatry kukwambia, I want to use you, but uko like, but siezi toka fuliza. What do you mean nitoke fuliza? Hapa ndipo nategemeanga. God is like, I'm about to open doors for you, but tumeshikilia. God anakwambia, I want you to get into a relationship. Uko like, but udem anakuwa beshte yangu sana. Udem anakuwa ngameni. Udem vile anatry kukulead, si vile God anataka. God anakwambia, ebu release tu nikuonyeshe. Picture this. When Moses came down, after the transfiguration, his face was shining. He was bright.
Yes.
Moses alikuwa na chance ya kila msia kuwa na report kwa tent na 500. Ndio unajua I talk to God. Unajua mimi ongea na Mungu. But the Bible says Moses was actually one of the most humble person on earth. So your humility ndo God anataka. Yes, you have met God face to face. Lakini can you go low? Can you go low nikutumie? Because your kiburi ikianza kuingia ndani yako, auta nini? Now let's talk of realness. Some of us, the things we have been doing behind the curtains, hizo ndizo vitu zimeshikilia our greatest testimonies. But what is the devil doing? He reminds us of our past scars, so that you will never be real. Na imagine kuna mse mwenye ana struggle na kitu, but devil ako like, hii kitu usiwahi sema. Unajua you're a big person in the society. Ukishasema hii, unajua unaibika. You're going to lose that endorsement. You're going to lose that deal. God is like, ebu agenda yenye nimekuweka kwa hii dunia ni you make disciples. Si upate endorsements. God is like, yes, release it. Haya, give a picture of nyanya imeoza. Nyanya imeoza ukiweka huku, ukiwekelea zingine mzuri, in a month ama a week's time utapata nini?
Zote zimeoza.
Exactly. So when you hold on to hiyo kitu yenye inajua ulifanya mbaya, instead of you let it out and you ashame the devil, because it's all about ashaming the devil. You know, jana nilikuwa kwa club, I was dancing with a girl, leo niko kwa praise and worship. Let me say it in front of my disciple and yes, the devil, in fact, be very ashamed. No aibike. What you're doing is that you're taking that nyanya out. And now devil hana any grounds za kukushikilia. Hana grounds. Unajua devil saa zingine anakuanga like, mimi nilikuanga tu website fulani, wewe mwenyewe ukanikujia. Ukaklik hiyo link, then ukapata some interesting images zinakuja. Ukawatch ngwati. Mimi hata sikuwa nakujua, wewe ndio ulinikujia. So saa hizi nimehold grounds ndani yako. Unataka kunitoa aje? There is a way to unplug those strongholds. That is not the mind way. It is the spiritual way. That's why when we sleep with people, we talk of soul ties.
Soul ties, yeah.
Unaona? Soul ties si kitu utaenda upigwe masindano uanze kutoanisha. You have to understand how to unlock these things spiritually. So I went into my former high school last year. And nimeenda tu na mbogi yangu ya mabeshte. Then mimi nikiongea nikaambia, so guys, this is the school whereby I started masturbation in the year 2000. Wase hadi mbogi nilikuwa niko like, oh yeah, rada, tuko tuna expect na conversations in the direction. But what happened when I joined church? We had a whole month talking about shame. And my shame was living like, devil sasa hauna grounds za kuongea. Hii kitu yenye unajua nilifanya, sasa ndakuwa na mention. Guess what happened? First of all, mbogi yangu ilishtuka because hadi nikirudi kukaa chini alikuwa like, bro, uko fiti by the way? Yeah, niko fiti. What happened is I had around 20 young boys calling me aside. Kaniwa, bro, kuna kitu ulimention. Pia mimi na struggle nayo, hebu niambie vile uli overcome. Do you know that the devil never wanted me to say it out? And from 2009 all the way to I think 2022, nimekuwa nikistruggle na masturbation. There are so many people watching, wana struggle nayo, but they will never let it out. What is happening? The devil is clapping at the background. Ako like, I know that hiyo testimony yako imeshikilia lives za watu wengi sana. Na staki uiseme. That is being real. Just be real. Yes.
Sikimesikia hiyo, be real. Be real. So from that same thought, you are real. What if the consequence is you losing everything you have? Because
okay, what do you have?
I have seen.
What is yours?
Let me give you an example. Relax. Okay, so there are a lot of pastors I have seen talk and say that there are things they don't even dare to tell their congregation because the congregation will change how they view them. So they have a circle of people that they get to tell, they get to work with. So when you speak about being real, is there a percentage of which you're supposed to tell these people and there another percentage you're supposed to tell this, or you're just supposed to be an open book to everyone?
Okay, that's a good one. So there are conversations my discipler knows. that my disciples don't know. Yeah? And there are conversations. There are things we call bedroom conversations. If a landlord comes to your house, is that person, does he have the access to the bedroom? If your sister comes, they can have an access up to the kitchen. Yeah? Maybe or maybe not the bedroom, depending on the relationship. So there are things we call bedroom conversations, and there are things we call sitting room conversations. Jesus had the disciple that he loved the most. That is John. But he also had Peter. And the three disciples when alikuwa so close to yeye. Then he had the 12. Right? Then he had the 72. So there will always be an inner circle that knows more about you. But wisdom is knowing what to say to who and for what benefit. So if I'm mentioning that I did this, it is to the benefit of the body of Christ, because I know the devil is holding something onto everybody who is viewing this. So I'm mentioning this without any shame. Because like, yes, you may be saying this about me, but my past has nothing to do with me. And there are conversations that my disciples know. They may be into the direction of leadership. Kama sasa, let's say kuna finances zenye hatuelewi zimeenda aje, so we are trying to dig deep. Hizo si vitu za kushinda tukiambia church. We need to call the leaders together, then tunaanza kujua what can we do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sawa. Was there a moment that leadership humbled you?
Aye, sisi humble daily, bro. So in leadership, there is the art of blue ticks. Inakaanga unapiga spoken word kwa inbox ya wase. Unapostingi tu na wase hata wakuongeleshi. So you call people, people don't respond. There is rebellion. There is slow obedience is disobedience. But uliambia mse fanya hivi kitu hafanyi. And imagine you have to work with these people. You just have to. Hapo sana ndipo God anakuambia nimekupatia grace ya leadership. Yeah? And mimi nimefunzwa leadership is pain management. So every day tuko like, you unasikia uchungu, but uko like, I have to consistently keep going. Yeah, sometimes you will tell people we have a hangout, you show up yourself with your family. People don't show up. So you just have to consistently pray for them. If you ever see something happening in the physical, then it means there is something that has already happened in the spiritual. Yeah. So you need to start understanding how to win there, so that in the physical you will have little or no effort. Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever had to lead people while still struggling?
So let me ask. By the time Paul got a conviction from Saul to Paul, was he a perfect person? Unajua alikuwa into the agenda of kwenda ku persecute Christians. Hakukuwa na process ya ati sasa God ako like, hey, so I'm going to give you 3 years of teaching. It was immediately. Alienda na hizo cracks zake, but sasa aliji-accept ako like, I now have the understanding. So wasewa ndio walikuwa like, when ndio ulikuwa una persecute Christians, umekuja unaanza kutuambia about the Jesus, about the gospel, about nini, unaona? The problem, the reason as why we are ineffective in ministry is because we are waiting for perfection. And God uses the imperfect. God qualifies the disqualified in the society. Do you know that fishermen were the lowly placed in the society? By the time you are considered a fisherman, unajua ilikuwa, okay, can I give some background kidogo? Ndio uweze, in the Jewish custom, a disciple was known as a mathetes. And a teacher was known as a rabbi. So back then, ni kama vile wewe unapelekangwa shule. It was known that for you to just qualify, the desire was to just be in front of a rabbi. It was known that for you to qualify to be in front of a rabbi, you had to cram the Torah, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, ndo tu huyu rabbi apate space na wewe. So wale rejects ndio walikuwa wanaenda kufish. So God aliendea nani? How? Kwa sababu saa zingine we worship our knowledge. Unapata msee anajua sana hadi hizi ambilika. Unaenda kuchota maji na mtungi imejaa. Unaget? So God aliendea hao wenye society li disqualify. Ndio sasa our feel inform wisdom, wapate hiyo understanding. Yeah, so when you wait for qualification, do you know you sleep for 5, 6, 7 hours? The devil does not sleep. So he is into the business of ensuring you will never be qualified. So teach on the go. Saizi tu vile uko. Do you know I'm not perfect? Do you know I'm the most unlikely candidate to be in front of even serving? Like I'm imperfect. Na mimi nakuanga hivyo, najuanga yes, every day I'm sinning. But God amenipatia grace here. You don't have to go and slaughter cows. Every day enda kama David. That's why God says that this is a man after my own heart. Anajua amefanya hii na hii. Anajua ameua huyu na huyu. But anarudingi anaambia Mungu, I am sorry. Unaona? So every day we need to be going back to God na anaambia Mungu, we are sorry. Hadi hao mabishop na mapastors. Shida yetu inakonga tunadhania ngati hawa seni ma angels. Aji. Every day we are sinning.
Lakini sini yao ndo wanajiwekanga hivyo saa zingine.
So wisdom is praying for them.
So two questions. Second last question. Finances. What is that thing that, or what are the things that you have learned with all these businesses that you have started that has helped you, or the first business that helped you start the second and the third and the fourth? Because a lot of people, I'm from missions, and most of those students do not even think of ever starting a business. Then they're just thinking of going to university, afterwards getting a job. And that is what most schools teach. They teach you to sit down, do the test, pass, go to university, pass, go to internship, hope for the same internship job that you had will be the same people that get to hire you. So what happened to you? Were you the reject somewhere and then you decided to go out? And this is a similar trait to people or entrepreneurs who are really big, like Facebook, Amazon. All these are people that have used the same line and have multiple streams of income. So how are you different? Do you have like green blood that we don't know?
Sina yangu ni red. I think the world has been consistent in teaching what the church has not been consistent in teaching. The world, do you know that if you don't talk to your child on account of being busy, it doesn't mean that your child is not learning. It's only you who is not teaching your child. Hiyo time ameenda kwa TV kuna vitu analan. Hiyo time anaenda kwa simu kuna vitu analan. You're the only one who is not teaching. If your pastor doesn't teach on the finances, then it means that
someone else is teaching.
And the same illustration here, a fake and a real. If you hear somebody speaking about I'm a billionaire na sina loans, desire to understand huyu msee alifikaje hapo, as opposed to you defending loans. Well, I don't have anything against banks. Juadi kuna loans zingine zinasaidianga wasee ku grow. But if somebody is doing well in this direction, desire to understand how they did it, as opposed to you defending something. Na msee mwingine akona kitu yenye ako like, anakuangalia tu ako like, when ignorance inakumaliza. Naona? So finances, mimi naweza sema ni Bible. Tuko kwa culture yenye tumeambiwa twende church tusikize pastor, as opposed to twende church tusome to confirm na Bible zetu Kenya pastor anasema. Naona? Then primarily tujisome Bible yote, kile tunaenda kufanya pale ni revelation and understanding, as opposed to ile ati tunadhanianga mhubiri. Ndio maana unasikianga wazee wanakuwa wanadanganywa wanaenda sijui mashakahola vitu kama hizo. It's only because msee hajaisoma Bible. And you see, God is saying in Joshua 1:8, meditate upon this word day and night, being careful to do according to what is written in it. Therefore you shall be prosperous and successful. There is prosperity and success, but there is a principle of reading. Many a times we want to be prosperous and successful, then we sideline reading of the word. Naona? Ama tunasomanga Bible kulingana na season yenye tuko. So unasoma, so I'm going through a sad moment in life. Which is the right scripture for me to read? Yeah, do you know you will read it? But you will kuna vitu nyingi sana zenye utaona. Kuna kitu nitango the multifaceted wisdom of God. You could be praying God for finances, then God brings you a wife. God ako like, I know you need finances, but this is the person to unlock the finances. Kama hauna wisdom ama hiyo understanding ya kujua vile God ana operate, utakuwa like, God, you're not understanding. I want finances, not a wife. God is like, I know what you want. I created you. So you need to understand this before I give you this. And you see, wisdom ya God hata hatuwezi tuko expose. He never created a table I was reading something Miles Monroe.
Yeah.
God ali create nini?
Yeah,
the trees. So that if you ask him for wisdom, he will make you
that
how
ability to make the table.
Yes. Naona? Mara nyingi hatuwezangi kusoma Bible. Kuna msee aliniambia ukisoma the book of Proverbs the whole of it, you are going to be a millionaire. It has wisdom. Naona? And so when I started k-lax Creations back in 2020, nimeanza k-lax, nimeanza bees, nini nafanya branding. God gives me a conviction of you need to register this company. I didn't know that in the year 2026 it was expected for every business to be to be remitting VAT and stuff. Mimi sikujua. Kumbe God started preparing me way in advance. So nilipoingia Mavuno, nikaanza kufunzwa about streams of income. Nikaambia God, me I don't want to open a hardware. How will I manage hardware? Me I don't want to open a chemist. How will I manage? Give me wisdom, because I have seen you give people wisdom. Give me wisdom on how to run. God akaniambia, ever since I put you in branding, you have never been ignorant about the things that are done in branding. You know too much. So start teaching people on the mistakes they do in branding. I'm a consultant. By the way, nikafungua brand 254 consultancy. Then nikaambia Mungu, hizi ni mbili. Mimi nataka ingine. God akaniambia, "Si ulichukua loan ya gari? Hiyo gari inakupatia pesa ngapi?" So me and my wife, we were taken through a course known as Couples and Money, which exposed us to understand that we were actually in a debt of 1.4 million. So kurealizing nilingiaje huku? So nikaanza ku walk my way out of debt. And so God akaniambia, hiyo gari inakukula. Peana hiyo gari ifanye Uber. Niko yenye hakuna mali nimetoka k-lax. Hakuna mali nina strain. I'm just God is just beginning to unveil things to me. Then another thing happened. God akuja akaniambia that si umeenda kwa mawedo kadhaa za mabeshte zako. Si umeona vile watu wana struggle kutengeneza wedo. Si wewe na wife yako mmefanya ndoa. What are you understanding? Nikapata wedding planning. Then nikaanza wedding planning. Tukafanya tukatafuta vendors nini, tukafungua group, tukazima. Gigi ya kwanza tumepata this year na mabeshte wangu kadhaa, and we were paid. Unaget? Then niko hata siku struggle. Then God has been teaching me discipleship, so I replicated myself with the team that I have. That's why hadi saa hizi biashara yangu inafanya. Si ati nilifunga ndo nikuje hapa hivi. It is working. That is discipleship. Then God akakuja akaniambia, you see, in the scope of business that you're in, many people are struggling to finance. But you have so many friends wenye nimekupatia since ufungue biashara ya k-lax, and they are just keeping money in the banks. What is wisdom telling you? Connect the need and the have. You will have money. Nikama Mungu yenyewe sasa na understand, naanza ku understand. So I came to when I tell people that the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without sorrow, it is actually true. Because I may not be looking like wealth, by the way, but I can tell you for a fact, I am grateful for the teachings, and I don't know for how long I'll be leaving this earth to tell these stories. So mimi juu niko 31 years saizi, let me share them. Ndio maana hadi ninapoambiwa, hey, there's a podcast inauza, hey, what is it about God nini, I'll be there. I don't even know whether next week nitakuwa. So I have to be here to share the testimonies zenye so far nime experience, so that mwenye alikuwa na a misunderstanding atakuwa on account of you listening to this podcast utakuwa now I know. Kumbe inaweza happen. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So, what do you want to be remembered for as a leader? That is the last thing.
I want to be remembered for impact, not power. When Jesus left this world, he left people, not property. Yeah. He left people. So I want to be remembered as a person who left impact. I left people who discipled. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 2 inasemanga, and the things you have heard me say, and trust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. That is all that I'm doing. I may not be so well up in terms of my wealth, but I pray that whomever I'm going to disciple, they are going to be way up, so that any person who is an unbeliever will actually approach this believer. Now, Muliza, by the way, you are way wealthier than me. What is the secret? I tithe. A different perspective. Dominion is not just spiritually. We are going to have dominion in our marriages. We are going to have dominion in our finances. We are going to have dominion in the business. Yeah? And spiritually, you are going to have dominion. That is dominion. So, tusiseme ati sisi mapastors, ati kazi yetu ni ati kuombea tu watu. Hapana, you have to have dominion financially, because there are people you will never reach out to unless you have the financial muscle. Yes.
Wow. So parting shot, mtu mwenye anakuangalia sahi and you want to tell them something, what would you tell them? I don't know, whatever is in your heart.
I wish I had a hack. I wish I had a hack of life. Ningewapatia. I only know of the Bible. Just go and read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You will see a dimension of God you have never seen. Soma Bible hii mwaka, soma Bible next year. Pastor M has been reading the Bible, the whole of the Bible, the last 30 years. Me, I want to understand what these people know. And he's not begging. He's wealthy. So me, I just need to understand, what is it that the people who read understand that sisi wenye tunadhani tuko busy sana to understand. Just read the Bible. That marriage of yours, it's more spiritual than you think. History ya kusema all men are all ninia ati love is a it's going to end once you understand the wisdom of the Bible. Kuna vitu zitakuwa silence. There are demons that are going to be silenced in your family, and you have to show up and be intentional and tell God, by the way, last I depended upon my own understanding, I failed a lot. This time round, I'm a pipe. Allow water, allow uji, allow anything to flow. I will just accept. Hapo ndipo God anaanza kukuambia, now you're ready to be used. Just read the Bible.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is up. It's been an amazing session. Hey. Aya, so behind the scenes, we have the one and only. Magi mwenyewe. Yeah, so thank God for you. Thank God for you being able to also be here. I was really struggling to come today. I'm tired. But I said, because of you, because of honor, I will come here. And this has been an amazing session. I'm looking forward to also having a lot of discussions with you. So hopefully maybe we can connect afterwards. There's a lot of wisdom that you have. Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom that you have. And it can really help for other people to get to experience it, even outside of this, because this is just like a snippet. You told me as we were beginning that if you were to speak about the things that you know, tungeka hapa the whole day. Not even the whole day, the whole week, because it won't be over. Yeah, but I am grateful. And in every single thing that you are doing, I know you're touching lives. So, by the way, this is a question. Since you, I've found myself in situations where I give a lot. So who gives back to you?
Generosity is a principle.
Not even giving like physically, like leadership.
Leadership. First of all, understand discipleship is I am learning and teaching. You're a teacher and a student.
At the same time.
You cannot be a discipler if you can't be discipled.
That's true.
So I hold as I'm being held. So who teaches me? The person I'm holding. The other thing, how do I learn? I show up in spaces whereby the pasture is being released. I intentionally show up. You see, God gave us the free will. You have the decision either to come or not. Yeah? Kama ningekuwa nikienda church alafu nalala, then ningekuwa hapo uniulize swali niko like, hey, next podcast ukiniuliza nitakuja najibia hiyo. But because anytime I'm in church, I'm writing notes, not for myself, for my disciples. Yeah, I have to die to myself. Like, I'm no longer important. My disciples are more important than me. So anything I'm consuming, it's for them. When a mom goes to work, hainangi juu yake, anananga juu ya watoto wake.
Yeah.
Lakini in that process, hadi anakula.
That's true.
That is the wisdom behind it.
Hello. Do you have social media accounts?
Niko nazo.
K-lax.
K_lax in all the social media platforms. Yeah, hadi WhatsApp niko. It's a social media platform.
That's true.
Yeah. And really na handle, but I can handle it when I share my number. Maybe kuna msi yako hapa ana struggle na kitu fulani amesikia nimeongelelea. Me one thing, I show up for people a lot. I can close my business just to engage. Anything God, like, you have my time. As long as it is aligning with the maker of the earth. Do you understand that haipelekwa kotini kwa sababu ya kuleta famine? No president has been taken. Hakuna. Huyo mwenye hizi pelekwa kotini juu ya kuleta famine. Let me give him my all. Floods ikikuja umesikia mzee amesuiwa. Juu ya kuleta floods. It means that yes, the president could be having power, but there is a superior.
An absolute.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a King's Table podcast. I have been your host, Wise Kenya International, and looking forward to seeing you guys next time with the one and only
k-lax.
Be blessed. Peace out. Wow.